Jane.
There I am. I'm sorry, my forward-facing camera failed again. Can't show up. I very much apologize for that. But I do have an overview question because I don't know. I'm a confused person right now because my type is 592, and I have the 7 the asterisks that indicate that I might be a hard to type social 6. So I have no idea how to approach that.
Well, what 3 types did you come out as? 5, 9, and 2?
592.
And what type did it show that you have?
Like the individual one at the top.
The overall type?
5.
Okay. And then in your Tritype was
5 first, 9 is middle, and 2 is at the end.
Okay. And what instinct?
Social.
Okay. Well, that's an important note because the social 5 can be pretty confusing because they're more inclined, especially if they have 2 in the Tritype, to want to move towards others. And they'll find a way to do so. It'll still be on their own time, in their own way, and maintaining their sense of self-sufficiency. But the 2 wants to find a way to help and move towards others. And the 5 moves away from others and doesn't want to be invaded. So how do you move towards others? And how do you move away from others?
It's hard to explain that. I have like a split personality about that. Sometimes I really want people, and sometimes I'm very happy to be by myself. And I've managed COVID very well, being homebound about 3 years for the most part. And then I'll have these little periods of wanting contact, probably more on my demand than, well, if somebody else, actually, I think that's kind of confusing because I exhibit some of those polarities.
Let me ask you this. When you, in general, if there wasn't COVID, from the time you were in elementary school, high school to this day, how did you negotiate people, groups?
Well, I got awards for being, getting along with all different types of people. As far as junior high, that's the Girls League Award was given for somebody that wasn't so specialized in a clique that we had. I guess I found myself in many different circles and with many different interests. But I really paid attention to the suggestion that I'm a hard to type social 6. And so I don't exactly know what to do with what I would really like because I'm elderly, I would really like to finish the business that I came here to finish, this particular incarnation or whatever, one life or none, more. So that's what I'm a little confused about how I can best work with this. If I indeed show up as a social 6, but I have the Tritype 592, I'm not sure what to do from now on and how to achieve my goal of trying to see what I can do about finishing up unfinished business.
You have to go into the defense strategy. I mean, 9s are often rewarded for getting along with a lot of people. And the social 9, even if they're introverted, they tend to be more extroverted, can look like a 5. So I would suggest being open to the fact, even if you got those 7 messages, if you got the one that says 6 and or 9, it just means 6 and 9 are usually in your Tritype. So either the 9 is in the lead or you have 6 instead of 5. So that's what you need to look at.
I think I'm a head type. That would be my usual. I might react emotionally, but I don't act. I mean, I might have a sensation or reaction somatically or emotionally, but my activity is governed by thought. When I would actually put something into action, it would be because I've thought about it.
Well, nines can do that too, especially the intellectual nine. Nines are rewarded for this, getting along with a lot of people. Now, social can often get along with a lot of people. And if you're a 6 with 9 in the tritype, generally you're going to be out of.
Should I take the in and see if I do something different? But
take it again. But make sure you're choosing a card based on the archetype of the card, that you have to take the whole feeling of a card. Take it again. And 2 and social is very focused on people. 9 and social is. But 5 and social is, you're going to find a way to control when you're in the group and when you're not. You're going to want to be a part of the things.
I'm kind of protective of my time. When I love to be out and about if I could be, but I have to have a balancing amount of time by myself. But I do think my approach to life is mainly, my defense strategies are mainly mental, I think.
So the defense strategy of isolation is what you use?
I have done that in the past.
You do it every day to some degree?
Well, I am alone every day because I'm homebound.
But don't go to situations.
I think being alone till I didn't.
Think of 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I always found a way to find some time by myself, no matter if I was in a retreat with 100 people. And I would participate and have some interest in group activities. I've even led groups, but I don't seek that out particularly. But I have some ways of manipulating that a little bit sometimes. If I don't like the subject, I have enough skill to be able to turn it around so I can get something that I feel is more interesting or important or whatever. I'm a little sneaky that way, I think. Sorry.
Well, that's your 2 in the tritype. 2s are very clever that way. We all manipulate, all 9 types, but how do we manipulate? And 2s just do it the best. So if you have 2 in the tritype, you've figured out better what people want. Yeah, but if it's there at all, it's your heart type. So I would just propose that intellectual 9 and 5, when you have both in the tritype, it can be hard to discern. So you have to look at the defense strategy of the 3 together.
Okay, so that's where I should begin. And then maybe consider at another time this idea that perhaps I have a lot in relationship to a 6. There are some things I could claim there.
Well, without seeing, if I could see your face, I could tell you a lot more, because I could read the micro expressions and the archetype and a lot.
Impressive face, so I might be a 6, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, because the 6 has developed these muscles because they're thinking, what?
Wrinkles up there on my forehead, which make me think that I have been doing something with my forehead that might have to do with my eyes.
Well, I mean, there is a 5 that can go into panic. And so they might have developed those expressions, but they're generally avoidant people. That's the defense strategy of 5. You cannot have the intrusion of someone even near you at times because it's in the way of your thinking, that you have to be alone to think.
I'm probably a 6.
That's what I would consider, that you're the smart.
And I plan to avoid a suffering. So I know that's been a hand that comes naturally to me. I can think ahead and see where there might be some issues or problems, and I don't make a big deal about it, but I travel heavy. I have everything I need. There's reasons for that. But anyway, I can anticipate problems. In fact, I think I annoyed a person I worked with because I could see some of the outcomes of things as being a little bit of a problem. And they didn't want to hear anything about that. They wanted the real positive spin on everything.
So that could be.
I mean, I've been hearing 6 the whole time, if I'm being honest. So, but that was just my, and the key thing to just really pay attention to, a lot of the times when you were like, yeah, but you would focus on behaviors, because keep in mind, introverts also just like having their own time, and that's not any correlation with Enneagram type. So it's the idea of why. Whenever you're confused, why? What emotional element is it taking care of? What is motivating the desire? Like when my mom said, like, the reason that 5 isolates and gets that time away, and then that's when you made the connection that you're probably 6. Like the shortcut always is, why am I doing this? Because anyone can. I need my own time sometimes too, and I don't have 5 whatsoever. I'm the most social person I can think of, really. But I sometimes just need to just do my thing. So the why and the dichotomy, the bounce around, I can do this, but I can do this. I heard it depends, even though you didn't say
Yeah,
it
depends. And I always have trouble with this because it's as your mom said, situational.
Yep. And I just want to throw out there, it depends is a classic 6 phrase. A classic 6 question is what if. A classic 6 phrase is, well, it depends. I'm married to a 6, and man, I try to get her to commit to a TV show sometimes, and she just won't want to. And then later on, I'll show her the same show again, like I've never brought it up before, and she'll be into it. And I'll be like, why this time? She goes, well, it depends on my mood. And there's a lot of playfulness with that. So even though you say it depends, I heard that.
Yeah, but I think it helps you to understand people, because you can fit in other people's shoes to some degree. Maybe it's just behavioral, maybe that deep as I'd like, but I have a sense of where other people are coming from intuitively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, empathy is a totally different thing. We're born with a certain level of empathy. Do we have the long strand or the short strand? It's called sensitivity factor, or just like we're born with the warrior gene, which is the go into it factor. And that is to a degree biological, but then between the ages of 9 and 11, we begin to learn our impact on others. And if we have a benevolent guide, whether it's a parent or someone else, that helps us see the other perspective and how we're coming across to others without shaming us and what we can do differently, we develop the empathy that's secondary, that's based on after the ego is developed. Gut types are intuitive, head types are understanding, and heart types are sympathetic. Again, in what order?
Probably. So thank you. I guess I still don't know exactly what to do with all of that.
Unfortunately, so much of what I say has not been written down because they didn't have a chance to do research, certify with different schools of thought, and have the exposure to Naranjo and Echazo. And in my case, Echazo's teachers, the ones that were authorized to teach Echazo's work, is where I learned really the most about Echazo's work. So you're not, unfortunately, I hate to write. I just do it to get the basic data out there. But I'll watch the 6 video, the 5 video, the 2 and the 9. 9
videos. That would be help. But I suspect I'm a 6, but I guess I better figure out what my unfinished business is, because I don't, the clock is ticking, let's put it that way.
I'd love to tell the story of when Spencer was 3 and he was in nursery school. Is it okay?
No, I'm so used to you putting me on blast by now. I just chuckle to myself and then I move on.
So he's in nursery school. He's 3 years old. And he just loved driving that little car.
Oh, okay. I know.
And then sometimes people would be running and they'd run in and he'd be on his course. And then they would run into him. And then the teachers would want, or instructors would want him to say he was sorry. He'd go, I didn't do anything. Pulled me in and they said, he just won't say he's sorry. And I said, wait, what's happening? And they told me, I said, well, he's not trying to hurt anybody. And he doesn't think he created it. So he doesn't understand yet that the person who has power is the one that recognizes when someone's hurt and how to help them. So they go, what? And I go, yeah, let me talk to him. And they were there. And I told them that. And he goes, oh, okay. Because he really cared about people. But then what he did is he would run. He would sort of run into people and then want to help them up and say, how are you doing? Because
I wanted the power. I wanted to make them feel better. Just
I go, now,
ignore the first part of the story.
yeah, Spence, that isn't exactly what I meant. You lose power if you're part of creating that problem.
Yeah.
So at 3, we only have the cognitive ability to think simplistically. So that, thanks, Spence. You're a public figure.
It's
I've
fine,
been
yeah.
for years.